So I have to admit, I've been talking to you about saving money, budgeting, putting a life-aligned finances together, yet I haven't talked about the silent wealth stealers, the things that can happen or decisions we make that can steal away money that could go towards our wealth building or investing for passive income. So today I'm going to talk about conquering the 4 wealth stealers that I came up with. There might be more, but I came up with 4. And I'm going to start these in a chronological order. So number 1 is higher education. Now, don't get me wrong. I am a big fan of education. I wouldn't be doing this channel if I didn't believe that education was the way to advance most people and move from a point of uncomfort to comfort. Yet, when you're thinking about going for a degree, higher education, university, college, there are things to consider. Second wealth stealing mistake I made was moving. And I was moving for a job, which I thought was smart, which is sometimes smart. But what I didn't take into consideration was the cost of living, where I was going, the fact that I was going with 2 young boys. They were 5 and 7 at the time. Additional job opportunities for me in that area, income and taxes. Was I making enough? Was it going to cost me more to buy products at stores? What was the sales tax? And also the moving expenses themselves are a lot. And for this job, I didn't ask to be reimbursed for those moving expenses, which I should have asked for, but I didn't. So that was a big mistake. On the social side of it, a huge loss. I, left a community that knew who we were, who knew my boys, where I had some friends and had some support. You belong to a church. And I left all those things. And so I was going with none of that. And I had to rebuild. I had to, get them in schools and try to find new relationships with other parents. Just simply, if the school closed early or there was an emergency and I couldn't get away from my job. So the social support factor, again, is huge. And by moving away, I lost some of the friendships that I had where I had been before, because I wasn't there, and people move on, and they find people find other things to do, and they make new friendships. So, and it's hard to come back to a friendship that you haven't cultivated. I had to find activities for myself, and my children, different activities that were popular in that area. I had to get the kids in summer camp because I still had to work. And so they had to go to a summer camp with kids that they didn't really know. I mean, I was hoping they had some friends from school that they had made by that time that they would be comfortable at summer camp. It actually didn't work out too bad there, but they didn't really like summer camp. So before you make a decision to move, obviously, if you're single without children, that move could be easier, but consider what you're giving up. I mean, you're giving up relationships that you may have had all your life. And, mattering on how far you're going, are you going to be able to keep those relationships or are they just all go fade? So there's a cost when you move that is more than just the actual moving cost. Okay, my number 3, and this is a big one, divorce. When you get divorced, it's very costly. Um, I've been divorced more than once. There you go. I've admitted it. I've been divorced more than once. The first was pretty easy in the sense that we didn't have children and we didn't have we owned a home together, but that was it. And we had only been married a short time, so we decided to keep the home as an asset. So at least I had married someone who thought the way I did financially. We kept the home as an asset because it wouldn't have been worth selling at that point. We would have been at a loss. So, and I ended up writing our divorce papers. So I didn't have an attorney, and he was fine with that because we didn't have much to do. In fact, after the judge, stamped our papers, let's say, we went to lunch. So that was a good divorce. The next one was not so easy. I had the children. I was on the deed to the house, not on the loan, but it was very contentious and very messy and very expensive. For divorce, the only thing I can tell you is that if you can, get a paralegal. You can reduce your cost in a divorce by having paperwork written up by a paralegal instead of an attorney. And they pretty much know the courts, where you're going to be heard. And the paperwork is pretty simple. Unless you have a serious situation where you need more legal advice, because a paralegal can't give you legal advice. So if it's not super straightforward, you have to go with an attorney. I will say I was lucky. My attorney, I guess, felt bad for me. And she said if I could pay her in 90 days, that she would take half of what her bill was. So that was a good thing. So, maybe negotiate with your attorney if that's the case. And at the end, when it's done, say, look, I've got this amount in cash that I can give you within so many days. And if you take that, then you can clear out my account. And they want to do that too. They don't want to, sit around and wait to be paid because they may never be paid. So it's kind of better for them as well. So you can do that negotiation. You could do a paralegal. But yeah, divorce is a mess. And it's, I think, besides my next number 4, which is health issues, divorce is the most expensive and will take a big chunk out of your assets. So what I would say there is plan ahead. If you're coming into the relationship with assets, get an agreement on how this should work out. I mean, I know people don't like prenups, but if you have assets, they have assets, they might be more than willing to write up an agreement because it protects them as well. Protects you, protects them, make sure that you go away whole. And I can say I walked away with my divorce with the best 2 prizes, which were my boys. So I'm very happy about that. Yeah, so I'm not going to go into the details of divorce. There's all kinds of ins and out, and I'm not an attorney. On the financial side, though, try to be fair. If you're fair, then you can sleep well at night and walk away and hopefully keep the relationship a good relationship. because it just opens up your family and your children to additional family, and you need to keep that relationship for them. On the emotional side, there is a big impact on your children, so that's why you want to keep a decent relationship. Your emotional well-being as well. It's easier to get along. It's the path of least resistance, and I can swear on that one, because I was in and out of courts after my divorce many, 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 too many times. And that was because my children's father had some issues that he wasn't happy with. I was okay. I moved on and did what I needed to do, but he wanted to go back to court a bunch of times. So that was expensive, and that's when I realized that I could get a paralegal. Also, just to wrap that up, make sure that you have plans for the future. In other words, if you have children, how is the college education going to be paid? Life insurance. There are all these financial issues that really do need to be considered. And, maybe before you even think about getting divorced, you should see someone and understand what you're getting into. Because you might just be angry today, and tomorrow might be a different day. And not every situation needs a divorce, and divorce really wreaks havoc with your financial picture. Okay, number 4, health crisis. This one, I didn't really have a big health crisis in my time, but I do know that when people's health is affected, their finances are affected. Just plainly, if they can't go to work, right? If you're out of work for a period of time because your health is poor, it's costly. And you already have a financial picture. You might have a home, you might have kids, family, pets, everything costs money. So you need to plan for that. And the best way to plan for a health crisis is disability insurance. So if you're with an employer and can have disability insurance, great. If you're an entrepreneur, disability insurance. For an entrepreneur, life insurance too, but disability insurance, because everyone's depending on you to go out and make a living and for support. And if you can't do that, where's the money coming from? It's got to come from somewhere. So disability insurance for your loss of income. Also, there's rehabilitation costs. I know health insurance provides so much in rehabilitation, but it doesn't always provide everything that you need. So rehabilitation costs. Also, if it's something major and you need home modifications, that's also a huge cost. Disability insurance is a percentage of your actual income. So you're not going to get your full income. You're only going to get 50 to 70% of income money from a disability policy based on the policy and based on the parameters and the agreement in that policy. So make sure that you know what you're entitled to and what your policy says. Keep a roof over your head. If you can stay away from those 4 wealth stealers, university and education costs, moving, divorce, and health issues, you won't be eroding your hard-earned money and wealth that you already put aside. So take your time in making decisions. There's plenty of in-state schools, and now there's also schools online that you should check out because education doesn't have, a 4-year education doesn't have to be at a location. You can do it online. And most universities I know, if they have online program, they do have the online remote people come for graduation. So you're not going to not have that experience. But there are experiences you do get when you're on campus. So I will agree to that. You don't want to miss your on-campus fun because it's a rite of passage, let's say. So, university, moving, make a good decision, take your time, make a decision on where you want to live, where you want to build your life, and stay there. Warren Buffett still owns the same house he purchased more than 40 years ago. He hasn't moved. He makes a lot, has a lot of money. But there's no reason for him to leave the lovely house that he chose years ago and where his family grew up. So make a decision and stay put. Number 3, divorce. Again, pick wisely, give it time. Your decision about who you partner with and share expenses with is something, it's just so important. And make sure that they have the same values and they value money the way you do. Because if they don't, that's just a recipe for disaster. So you want them to have the same values and feel that money is as important as you feel it is. So choose wisely there. And then stay healthy. Get up, exercise, do what you have to do, eat well, and stay healthy and take care of your health. Go for your doctor appointments and make sure that you're okay. And for the entrepreneurs who, that have to pay for their health insurance and may not be able to have the best plan, disability insurance. It's a business expense. You have to do it because if you're not able to work, who's going to support your family and help you along? So there you go. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And check out the other videos. Life Aligned Finances is always a good one to start. And also download the free PDF in the description box below. And it'll hopefully help you along your way. As well, send me comments. Let me know what you would like me to talk about and would like to hear more about. And I'd be happy to create a video on that topic just for you.